Hey and welcome to Mini Travellers, and I am Sarah, one of the editors over on the website. If you don't know, so Mini Travellers can be found on minitravellers.com as a website where it's amazing. It's full of hints and tips for family travel, to get family travel right. We're over on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. So we try to make it easier for families to get the best out of their next holiday. So there's two of us. There's Karen and her family, who are the founders, and then there's myself, Sarah, and I'm an editor. Then we have lots of sub-editors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my top 8 tips for travelling as a family. Our children are grown up now. We've travelled well with them since they were toddlers. We've got up an amazing toolkit of travelling as a family and travelling farther for our money, getting more for our money when we travel. And it's just certain tips and tricks I've used over the years that means we've travelled frequently and travelled well, and sometimes got holidays in way lower in budget than what we would have done if we'd have booked it all as a package. I'm going to go through the 8 steps. I hope it helps you when you're booking your family holidays, because as I say, over the years we have managed to travel far and travel well just using these to save quite a lot of money. Okay, so are we ready? So we'll start with American Express, number 1. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on this because actually it's quite complex. But the American Express British Airways card, you can build air miles up, and you can spend so much a year. So you pay so much per year for the card, and then if you pay for the card rather than get the free version, you get 2 points for every £1 you spend. It might have changed. It's either 1.5 or 2 points for every £1. Then you've got companion vouchers. So when you spend 10,000 in a year, you then also can build up a companion voucher. So for example, if you was flying to Orlando, it's around 45,000 air miles to fly to Orlando. So you've built up 45,000 air miles with all your shopping, your petrol and everything else, but then you've also got a companion voucher. So rather than 2 people paying 90,000 air miles, you use your companion voucher. So that means that you're sort of getting one lot of air miles free, and then you just pay your tax, which last time we flew to Florida, the 3 of us flew for £450. So from Gatwick to Orlando and back for 3 of us. It was just so cheap. But because we'd built up our air miles throughout the year, we used one companion voucher. So we did it for, I think it was 90,000 air miles. It was brilliant. And that is a way, and what we used to do, we've got 2 boys. So what we used to do is build up 2 companion vouchers over 2 years, save all our air miles. And then that meant that we could do our Disney trip or, fly somewhere far. It's worth using it to fly to the States or to Dubai. And you can use your air miles and your points, and it is brilliant. You can use it for Europe. And I mean, at the moment, I looked up yesterday, I could fly to Barcelona for 15,000 miles return and £2. So, or £1. It's brilliant. And there's a lot more to it than that. It's a really complicated system, but at the same time, it's really easy to do. If you just plan ahead, you've got to book your flights a year in advance. So you build your air miles, you save your points, and you build up your companion voucher. As I say, you have to pay the card off. I can't stress that enough, because the interest is horrific. But what it means is that you can fly to Florida, return for £150, and you don't see flight prices like that, do you? Or Barcelona for £1. It's like getting a bus. So it's worth doing. And that brings me on to number 2. So number 2 is when you book, if you want to book a hotel, you've got 2 options. You either book through a travel agent and book in advance, where you can get some amazing deals where you get free kids spaces, whether it's a cruise, a hotel, and you can just go to a travel agent. I work with an independent travel agent. It's amazing. And I say, right, this is where I want to go. This is the hotel, or this is the cruise, and he will find me a deal. I usually go with an idea. I go with a few different ships. I see if there's any free children's offers coming up, and then I can go to him and he can sort it all out for me. But book in advance. And with cruising, that can be up to 18 months to 2 years. But know what you're going to do ahead of time and book it. And I know that's really hard as a family, but we were always booked up a year in advance, and that just meant that I got those free child places or 3rd and 4th birth discounts, and it worked really well. Number 3 is Tesco ClubCard vouchers. Now, these aren't as good as they used to be, but they still work out quite good. So I don't touch a ClubCard points. I used to convert them to Avios, but they stopped that. So now I convert them all to hotel.com vouchers. And I think, so 5 vouchers is £10 worth of travel. And when you think about it, when all the ClubCard points, you know, when you get them and get, like, you get £25 a month or £30 a month in vouchers. I mean, we spend a lot on shopping, but most families do. So say you build up £120 or £200 in a year worth of vouchers. And some people save them for Christmas and you use it like for like. But if you was to use that on a hotel, you get double. So we booked an amazing hotel in Barcelona recently, and I think I had something like, I don't know, 180 or £210 worth of vouchers. It was, so I paid £80 for this amazing hotel because I put my vouchers towards it. And I've also done that with Universal hotels, and our last trip to Universal, I think I paid £300 for the week in a Universal hotel because I had a big chunk of booking.com vouchers, so that you put them down and then just pay the rest of the balance and get it cheap. So they are amazing. So you just go onto your ClubCard and you just convert them to vouchers and transfer them across. So number 4 is Prebook Transfers, and we always do this independently now. We don't let anybody else do it for us. And I remember once years ago we got on a coach, and it was like we booked a holiday for a brochure, you know, how you did back in the day, and we ended up on this coach full of holiday, and it was just horrific, and dropping people off at different places, and it's just stressful. So what we do is we pre-book a transfer, and we use a company called Welcome Pickup. I'll drop a link below. It's an affiliate link. We get, it was nothing, but it's really worth looking at, because last time we were in Barcelona, we booked one coming out when we arrived, but we didn't book it when we got off the cruise ship. So when you couldn't get an Uber because there was lots of taxis, so the Ubers stayed away, and the taxis were charging, I think they were charging something like a flat fee of €45 from the cruise port to back to the airport. And when I looked at Welcome Pickups, it actually would have been cheaper. Number 5 is if you're a bigger family, book apartments. Now, Karen, Matt and the girls always do this if they're travelling to a city, because they've got 3 children. And if you've got 3 children, or even if now, like ours are older, so you've got to get two hotel rooms, look at apartments. Booking.com, I'll put a link down below again for Booking.com, and they do lots of apartments. If you've got, I don't know, as your kids get older, they get to the age where then they're classed as adults, so you have to get 2 rooms. Or if you've got 3 kids or 4 kids, then you split in between rooms, getting the joining rooms, it works out expensive. But if you look on Booking.com, you can get apartments, and a lot of these apartments, I mean, we booked one for Disneyland Paris when Karen, myself and the girls all went out there last year, and this apartment was stunning, and that was right near Disney, and it saved us £800, which was what it saved us. That wasn't, it was less, £800 less than one of the Disney hotels nearby. So it's worth looking at apartments, and then you've got that space where you can take your breakfast, and you've got that freedom that you've got a bit of space for the family, and you can take them back and chill out if they're younger, because sometimes you just need somewhere to go and put your feet up, don't you? And you haven't always got that in a hotel. Number 6 is take snacks, and this is something that Karen always does, and I never did, and I used to spend a fortune at the airport. But Karen and the girls and Matt are very organised. Oh, we've got a blog post below, I mean, linking the sort of food they take, but she packs a picnic. And obviously you've got a meeting where you can't take liquids through and stuff like that, but she packs a full picnic, but it's all the girls have got a backpack and they've got a picnic in it, and it's food they will eat. Now, I'm gluten free, and actually last time I was at the airport, I couldn't get any food. There was just nothing I could eat, and it was a nightmare. And then I'm the same on the plane. So from now on, I'm going to take a picnic, and because then at least I've got something to eat on the plane. The benefit of taking a picnic is if your kids are fussy and they don't want to eat stuff, or you know, you're paying like, I don't know, £8 for a plain ham sandwich because they're going to take all the filling out, but you're still going to charge you. And the queues, sometimes the queues are horrendous at the airport. So yeah, pack a picnic. Don't put it in the top luggage. I mean, the last flight I was on, there was a woman up down, unpacking picnics. Give the kids in their under bag thing, a little cool bag with their picnic in it. Everybody's got their own. And then you've got your snacks. You've obviously got a few backup bits in your bag. But if you've got a picnic ready, as long as there's no juices in, liquids, you can get a water when you get to the airport. Or you can take a water bottle and find a water station. But the picnic itself will save you a fortune. So, I don't know, stuff like snacks, some crisps, sandwiches, some fruit. And obviously there's laws of taking food in and out of countries, but you're eating it on the plane. You can get rid of it at the other end if there are restrictions. But it just means that you've got happy kids travelling and they're not starving because they don't want to eat the pickle on the ham and pickle sandwich that you've tried to scrape off, and they can still taste it. We've all been there. And that takes me on to number 7, which is build a holiday survival kit. So when our kids were little, and probably a lot of parents do this, if you don't, start doing it because it's a God save. And I used to get them a new backpack every holiday, nothing too expensive, or use their backpack, or have a travel backpack that you just keep to one side. So I used to take a travel game. So back in the day, it was Nintendos. Now, I mean, they do still have Nintendos, I think, don't they? I'm out of that. But yeah, so a new game for if they do have a console, if they've got their iPad, make sure that the iPad's got stuff downloaded on it for them to watch. But then also put in, so like a magazine, a colouring book with crayons. Our boys loved cars, so I'd put in a little pack of cars, a mini pack of Lego so that they could play Lego, and some wipe-off books so that they could colour and wipe off. But whatever it was a holiday survival kit. It was all brand new, and it'd all go in the bag, and they wouldn't get it till they got to the airport. They used to be so excited beside themselves. They carried the backpack around the airport because they knew it was all new toys in there. You don't have to fill it full, but you know, just something. A general rule is something to read, something to colour, a quiz thing, something to play with, and then they're going to use that in the airport. And we used to have little drawstring bags that the cars would go in. Another great thing which we always did, and I've still got them now saved, is the Disney store they're online now, aren't they? But they do little sets. So we've got the cars sets of all the cars, all the characters, and we've got all of this. They're only mini, and we've got all the Toy Story characters. So that, I mean, they've been all over the world with us. Wherever we've travelled, the Toy Story in the travel bag, and they've gone everywhere, and they've played with them in hotel rooms, on planes. So it's just really handy to have something for them to do. But it's got to be new, because there's no point putting an old toy in. But what I tended to do when they were younger was just build it up as I went along. So if I was out shopping, I'd grab a car. If I was Christmas shopping, I might see a play set, get them when they're on offer, and build them up. And I used to have a little bag of stuff that I could pull out and build I used to call them holiday survival kits. That's one in sale shopping. Now I've got probably an unhealthy obsession with travelling, but then I just think that's your downtime, isn't it, as family, to get away. You're busy, you've got clubs, you've got school, you've got work. So to get away together is just so special. So I used to holiday shop all year round. So when there was stuff in the sales, I'd buy it, put it away. So by the time they went on holiday, I didn't have to go and buy a load of stuff at the last minute, because I'd pull it all out and it would all be there. As they got older and they were wearing brands like Napapiri, and I'd do the same. So I'd buy it online in the online sales and have a suitcase full of stuff that I could pull out for holidays, but I'd bought it all in the sales. So you save a fortune doing that. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that there was something you picked up there. Travelling with kids is amazing. It doesn't have to be a big drama, does it? It's just about having all those strategies to keep everyone happy. So it's like, you know, food, boredom, saving money. And if you can hit those bases, then family travel can be a lot cheaper, and it can be a lot more chilled, which is what we want. If you've got any tips that we've missed, and we will have done, pop them in the comments below for other parents. And it'd be lovely if people could drop their hints in, so people can look through and see any other tips, because we've all got amazing strategies of how to travel well, travel better, and travel on a budget, but not compromise on quality. So if you like this, then and thought it was any use whatsoever, then please do like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Happy travels.